study. We will receive speakers in the order in which they sign public participation sign-up sheet. Please, at the podium, identify yourself and your affiliation with the district, and abide by the public participation policy and restriction. Just a reminder that this portion of the meeting is set aside to receive comments during the meeting of the board. The board will not respond to comments or questions. Thank you. First name on the list is Dan Bruno.
Good evening. My name is Dan Bruno, and I've lived here in District 20 for 14 years. I'm also a very proud parent of a fourth grader at Waterbury. I'd like to start by taking a moment to thank my fellow parents that are here this evening for taking the time to be here tonight. Our presence shows that our children's education is a top priority. Teachers, I know there's some here. Thank you for being here and showing interest in the matter. You are our #1 asset here in this district, and I believe it's important to include you in all of our discussions. Board of Education members, thank you for volunteering your time. I started in providing leadership and for putting kids first. Like many other parents here tonight, I started my research on the ideas presented by Dr. Connolly almost immediately after reading a letter that was sent home for the first day of school. My research actually encompassed reading over 40 different studies and analyzing them. I figured I needed to do twice as much as Dr. Connolly did, just because I'm half as smart as he is. Not how it worked. I looked at the Prospect Heights study. I've looked at a lot of different motivations for people or districts that have gone to grade level centers. And most of what I found was either a school district moved to a grade level center model because of financial reasons, facility reasons, or school population reasons such as declining enrollment. I'm going to try to keep this brief and not go through exactly everything that I originally planned, because it seems like the board is in a position now that we're going to look at fully kindergarten and integrate K-5 model. But I do want to point out one interesting piece of study that I looked at. And it was a March 2008 study of Unit 5 schools in downstate Williamson Normal. What they did there was they created a steering committee, which was charged with researching and making recommendations on elementary grade level centers. It was a lot of research. It was surveys of existing programs and superintendent interviews. The committee, and this is the interesting point, the point that I wanted to bring up, is as we move forward and we look, like Mr. Williams had mentioned, at other options and other things to continue, our goal of making every student here in this district a better student when they go to the next level. The steering committee that was set up had administrators, parents, and teachers. And they worked on that for over a year. And I think that's the key here, is we really need to be methodical in what we do. We need to include everyone in this room. And I think with that type of approach, there really are good things that will come from this district. I really don't have much else, but I do thank you for your time once again. I know you guys are volunteers. Know that we, by electing you, put our trust in you, that you are doing the right things. And that just because you don't see us here doesn't mean that we don't trust you and respect what you're doing. I think, though, that we've woken up a lot of people here. And I think that there's a core group of people that would definitely want to be part of the steering committee moving forward. And we can do some really great things together. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Forgive me if I get any of these names wrong. Next is Patty Roney.
Brownie. Good evening. First, I'd like to say, good evening. First, I'd like to say thank you. I appreciate all the work that you do, Dr. Connolly. I commend your discernment on your recommendation. Thank you. My name is Patty Brownie. I am a District 20 mom. I currently have 3 kids in the system, 2 schools. I have a background in education in both a grade school and a high school level in special education. And I would like to take this opportunity to just voice one concern that I have. For any board member here that still thinks that possibly grade level centers could be a viable option at some point within the near future, I would like you to ask this question. How successful will Common Core be if it is implemented simultaneously or within a small framework of time with grade level centers? How are you going to gauge progress and success of Common Core when you're restructuring the academic structure that these kids learn in? Where is the baseline? Where is the control? Just from a data perspective, just from gathering and retrieving data to document, track, monitor, and graph the progress of Common Core. How are you going to extrapolate progress of Common Core and differentiate it from any type of progress that you feel grade level centers provides? That's my only question. That's my concern, is to be able to appropriately monitor, gauge, and track any progress that we have with Common Core with having an entirely new system that these children are learning in. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The next name is Eric Brown.
First, I'd like to say thank you to the board for your service to our community and for this opportunity to speak to you tonight. My name is Eric Brown. I'm a District 20 parent. 3 kids in the system. My wife, you just met. I was asked to be a facilitator as part of the focus groups that were part of this. And I wanted to express, and this is what I was originally prepared to say. I was happy to do that. It was an opportunity to serve my community in a way I had not done before. I learned much more about how the schools work and how they work in our community. And I learned about the challenges that this community faces that, frankly, I was not aware of myself. At this point, I find myself departing from what I was prepared to say from this point on. And instead, I really find myself wanting to echo what I heard, especially from Mr. Williams, from Dr. Connolly, in terms of we need a better spirit of collaboration in our community. I see that now. That's what's brought me here. I didn't come here just to stump for one position on one issue. I came here as a first timer to be committed to come here many more times because this is what we need. I hear you when you say that if we were talking about grade level centers, there'd be 5 people here. And that's a shame because this is our kids' future. This is our community's future. I had some graphics and articles prepared. Obviously, I have a much different intent I want to share, but they tie into the spirit of community that I hear the good members of this board mentioning right now. The first one is a graphic, and I apologize to those of you I was not nearly sophisticated enough to think that I could present slides here, so this will be low-tech slides. This is the list of members of the Prospect Heights steering committee that was part of the grade level center study that was done see listed in red were the parents. The names listed in green were the teachers. And just to prove to myself that this wasn't a fluke about how communities could come together and really talk about something as important as grade level centers or anything else. And this is obviously, again, from the Prospect Heights report that the administration put on the website. Later in that same report is the steering committee list for the Hopkinton Elementary School. And again, you'll see names listed in red, their parents, community members, but names listed in green with the parents that they're partnered with. I just wanted to show two more, mainly because I was up until 3 in the morning the other day.
You too? I'm looking forward to sleeping tonight.
So what I have here is a graph of the timeline that was done for the grade level center study that was done for Prospect Heights. The point I want to make with it now is a little different in that it's a model for engagement on any kind of investigation or a study to be done in a district that involves from the beginning, which is what I tried to signify with the green line here, community involvement and engagement with the district board, the parents and the teachers all working together. You'll see lots of activities in there. And I'm sure Dr. Connolly is going to be much happier about what I'm not going to say about the following graph. That is a much bigger red line, and it's very ominous looking now, isn't it? I think now what this signifies is the problem that I'm certainly much more aware of that's happening in the district where there isn't collaboration. And that's what I was trying to point out with this. Dr. Connolly, before the meeting started, you shared with me that you were receiving some very nasty messages before even considering this. And I think that that's absolutely wrong. And I disagree with that entirely. I don't think that just because you have an intellectually different position on something that you should be berated for it. Likewise, there's all kinds of nasty rumors that go around too about someone who, like myself, has an intellectual disagreement about what the benefits are of grade level centers. Chief among them is hearing from the other members of the community, regardless of whether your position is fact-based or not, that you may be racist or somehow ignorant. And I think these misunderstandings come because we aren't working together enough. And what I'd like to do is let you know that I'd like to work with you. I'd like to make a difference in our community. And I'm hoping that everybody can show by a round of applause, by show of hands if they're standing with me, that you're equally committed to making a difference.
For your faith in my eyesight. I have no idea what you held